Hey everybody, thanks for joining me today on the Stellar Highway. My name is Motormind and I will be your host. It's New Comic Book Day and I picked up a couple of books. The first of which I'll talk about here is The New Challengers. This is one of the DC New Age of Heroes books. I've been buying all the New Age of Heroes books. Never did read much DC. Lots of changes at Marvel, so this gives me something to dive into and see what it's all about until things kind of course correct and the fresh start really gets started over at Marvel. But I have really enjoyed checking this out, and it has really kind of helped me get more interested in the DC Comics universe. There's a lot to like in these New Age of Heroes books. And I really have said this in other videos. I feel like there's a little something for everybody in this New Age of Heroes thing. You know, Silencer was pretty great, had cool characters, and, you know, it just wasn't exactly my cup of tea. Damage is cool. Again, it's just not exactly my cup of tea. Terrifics I've been having a good time with. You know, it started off really strong. The last issue is, kind of so-so. But, you know, lots of fun characters and stuff in these New Age of Heroes books. My big takeaway so far from the DC's New Age of Heroes has been Sideways. Really like Sideways. He's right up my alley. He's exactly the kind of superhero that I'm interested in. Liking Sideways a lot. So yeah, I was really excited that a new New Age of Heroes books came out today. This is the New Challengers. This is a 6-issue limited series, which I had no idea. You know, I just assumed all these New Age of Heroes things were going to be like ongoing. But this book starts off with sort of a really cool scene here. There's this biplane or, old-timey plane kind of heading into this like terrible storm. The pilot saying, hey, I regret this. The storm is like certain death. And this mystery bandage man here is pretty menacing dude. He's like, don't turn around. You know how much I paid you. The pilot's like, hey, money's not, worth nothing to a dead man. And he says, if you won't continue, I will. And so instead of letting the pilot turn the plane around, the bandage man throws the pilot out of the plane. It's pretty awesome. The bandage man continues to fly the plane. He's using this weird, sort of glowing femur type bone as sort of like a compass. So he flies the plane. The plane does get struck by lightning. He crashes. He survives the crash. And then, there's sort of this crack in the mountain. Presumably it's a mountain. And he says, finally, he says, at last. Pretty cool intro. I mean, I would say this is like sort of a villain thing. But, not much else is said. I'll go into a little bit of that later, but, the next scene is sort of like a modern day scene, and these people are being teleported into this room. They don't know each other. They don't seem to have any connection to each other, but they all have a couple of things in common. One is that they all have a hourglass tattoo, that they didn't have before. The other thing is that the last thing they remember is that they were dying. So the scene kind of jumps into one of the characters. She is sort of like an underground doctor, like a street doctor. She seems to live in Gotham City in a place called the Narrows, which it's, I don't know Gotham stuff that much, but, apparently it's a bad part of Gotham. I don't know. Aren't all parts of Gotham bad? Isn't Gotham bad all over? I don't know. Anyways, she's sort of like a local hero. I mean, she patches up gangbangers and drug dealers and stuff, but she also helps the old grannies and stuff. She just seems like a local hero, sort of, takes care of her own, she's sort of caught in the middle of this, what I'm guessing is like a callback to Dark Knight's Metal, which led into this New Age of Heroes thing. But, the Justice League is attacking these meteors. The meteors turn out to be eggs. They have these creatures inside, and our hero here, the street doctor lady, she kind of jumps into action. She's got this knife on her. She's trying to protect this family that's on a fire escape, and the creature presumably just chows down on her. But then they once they realize that's what they have in common. This mystery character appears, and he calls himself the professor or the prof. And he says the last thing you remember is dying, and there's a very simple explanation for that. You are dead. Pretty cool stuff. There is a little bit of exposition, and I'm going to skip a little bit of it just for the good copyright reasons. But basically, they are sort of under the professor's thumb in a way. It's like, the hourglass tells them how much time they have left, and they have to complete these missions apparently for him. It's a little confusing. It's a little cool. You just kind of go with it as you're reading it. But horrible things happen to you if you break the rules, as evidenced here. It's a great, it's a great 180 to the cover. I mean, because this dude's on the cover, he's been in all the promotional materials, but yeah, they kill him off instantly. I mean, it's great. It sets up the stakes and stuff, I really like that about it. But again, some of this, isn't quite making sense, but you're just going with it. I mean, it is a fun time. But they are, the challengers are sent, in sort of like this transport pod, and you can see that in the upper left-hand corner here. And they've got just enough supplies to complete their mission, and they're supposed to retrieve what is very clearly, the other half of the bone, the mystical bone with the runes that the Bandage Man possessed. So, I mean, I don't know if it's for whatever reason it's in this oceanic type region. It's not even clear if it's Earth or not. But yeah, they're transported to this weird like ocean climate or something, and immediately attacked. And that's kind of where the book kind of wraps up. There's a pretty great reveal at the end that I don't want to spoil for you guys, where a little bit more about the professor is shown, and he seems to have some connections to the Bandaged Man. I'll let you guys discover all that for yourselves, but here's my concern. It's not really a complaint, because I mean, I enjoyed the book and it was fun. I didn't get everything that was going on, but you don't always need to, and I can appreciate that. But I mean, this is a 6-issue miniseries, and I mean, the clock is ticking. I mean, it's literally for the heroes, and for the storytelling. I mean, I would like to know a little bit more about what's going on. I mean, I get the mystery angle that they were going for and stuff, but man, I don't know how they're going to bring this to a satisfying conclusion if they keep this pace up, because a lot of the issue is spent on one of the challengers, and we've still got like 3 more challengers to introduce, plus everybody is going to want to know about the professor after this issue. So, I mean, that's a lot of characters and a lot of backstories to juggle in just 5 issues, 5 remaining issues, 6 total. So, yeah, I don't know if they can pull it off. I mean, I would be impressed if they do. I mean, if they can explain the world of the new challengers with the whole between life and death thing, and the professor and the mystery totem compass. I mean, if they can describe all of that, send them on these little missions, and bring all this to a satisfying conclusion, it'll be quite a feat. But not sure if I'm just gonna wait for the trade and read it there, or if I will invest in the next couple of issues. I guess it depends on what like my weekly buying looks like. But there you have it, guys. New challengers. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you're on board, if you're interested, if this does it for you. Let me know what New Age of Heroes books you're enjoying. Do leave a like, comment below. Let me know your thoughts. I do read all the comments. And don't forget to ring the bell, subscribe. And thanks for watching. Thanks for joining me on the Stellar Highway.